Hello everyone, this is Supersnoopy here, back with another SWTOR video. Today I have for you guys a SWTOR mini guide video. In today's mini guide video, we're just going to be going over dailies for CXP. Now, if you didn't know, in SWTOR there is the command system, and essentially the way that this works is you get command experience points. You rank up your command rank, and you get these boxes which allow you to get parts to craft some nice high-level, high-end gear, or of course find some extra gear in the crates. So this is just a quick little guide video, just kind of going over how you can do dailies and stuff along with that to actually get some really quick CXP. So if you guys enjoy this SWTOR mini guide video, as always, if you guys enjoy these videos, then make sure to leave a like. And if you guys want some gaming mints, then check the link in the description down below, Catalyst Gaming Mints. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys in this guide. Alrighty guys, so let's get into this video right now. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go into your UI. So you will find the activities right here, which is by default Control G. You're just going to simply click on it. You're going to go from group or wherever you are to solo. You're going to go to the planetary missions, and then you're going to go to where you find these daily areas. Now here you will find multiple options. You'll see black hole, section X, and etc. You'll see all these options for the daily area. Now as you can see, they have different command point values, but they also seem to have essentially, at least for the most part, they have roughly the same credit value. Now the main thing we aren't really focused on is the credit value, and we are mainly focused on the command points. So depending on how big the actual daily area is and the amount of missions and all that different stuff is essentially the factor of command points. So one thing you're going to do, obviously, once you decide on daily area, you're just going to simply hit travel. So for example, I'm on this planet already. You're just going to click it right there, and then it's going to show up in your weekly option. So like I said, you have to complete a certain amount of missions in order to get it. You just go simply to the daily area, and then you pick them up. Now, obviously, this isn't a video just simply showing exactly, where the daily areas are. This is more of a mission, kind of like talking about what is the best way to really get these command points in a fast way without really spending too much of the grind of daily areas. So my recommendation, if you want to get a reasonable amount of, command XP by actually playing the daily missions, I'd recommend picking up the CZ, I would say the CZ dailies, the Section X dailies, or not the Section X, but the CZ dailies, the Black Hole dailies, and the Orcon dailies. Now you can do the other ones just depending on what you like, but the main thing to note is with these three particular daily areas, you can get these done incredibly fast. The nice thing about these is that the missions are pretty short and they are pretty standard, whereas if you go to the other daily areas, you will be spending quite a bit of time. Like for example with Section X, it may be a bit deceiving because you see, oh hey, it's roughly the same, or essentially it is the same as like Black Hole and Orcon. But the thing with Section X is a lot of the, I'd say the actual dailies and stuff do take quite a bit longer when it comes down to actually like timing it. If you know what you're doing in a daily area and you just decide to go through it, you'll definitely find that with these three, it's a lot quicker to do. Now, if you are, once again, if you're not really on a time crunch, I would highly recommend go, actually, this, especially with the Iocath, with most of them, you can just complete them in one go. But with Iocath, it's completing 10 dailies over the course of a week. So if you do have quite a bit of time on your hands and you just want to actually farm command points, then I would highly recommend picking up the Iocath one along with these other daily areas and just completing them constantly. Now, once again, one thing that is important is a lot of people, like I said, we do want to get the command XP pretty fast. So obviously, one tip right here is if you're farming command XP, particularly for your main account, or not your main account, but your main character, and you don't really want to worry about it too much, you can obviously go on a stealth class. So you can stealth through options and parts of these daily areas. The nice thing about a majority of the daily areas is while you are, of course, picking up things and just collecting them, there are some of the dailies where it's just simply, I say, like activating something and just going on or something along the lines of that. So it can be pretty useful to actually stealth through things. So if you are a stealther and you do have a character for that, that is also a pretty valid option right there. Now another thing, once again, is this is particularly for people that, or I say like if you're in a populated area, for example, like this area that I'm playing right now, Now, as you can probably see, we do have players right here, and this is a good example. Now, even though I'm like in this daily area right now, I would most likely not actually continue with this daily. Because I mean, to be honest, as you can see right here, we do have another player that is doing the same daily as me right now. A couple of things that I have noticed is if you switch to a PvP instance, typically there's a lot less people in a PvP instance. They're typically not really many people you have to deal with. However, by going into this instance, you are taking the risk of getting attacked by another player, so definitely just keep that in mind. Or if there's too many people in one area, you can obviously go to another daily. One thing that I found is people really want to complete their dailies very fast, and sometimes they may group up or sometimes they may not, because like I said, sometimes people are just in a hurry and they feel like people will slow them down. Once again, if there are people in the area, you can obviously leave, just not really worry about them too much and just try to get your dailies done. But I mean, once again, I would highly recommend just going through it with a couple of those key tips, just kind of keeping that in mind that it does happen. Because like I said, even if, like for example right here, you can see that we have a couple players here that are just here just trying to get their dailies done, and obviously the issue is we're kind of overlapping a bit, as you can see, because I mean I'm like taking one of the storage pods while a guy on the other side's taking it. It's pretty obvious that you know, you will be fighting over things. Let's be honest, that is never fun when you're just trying to complete these very quickly. Now, if you're looking to only complete one daily, my honest recommendation would be to do the black hole. I haven't made a video where I actually decided to speedrun the black hole with absolutely no stealth involved whatsoever, and I was able to complete it in a little under 12 minutes. So if you're looking for, once again, like a really quick CXP, you don't really worry about too much or really care about any of the other stuff, then if you're just doing one daily run, I would highly recommend just completing black hole, or at least having it active while you're doing PvP or something else. Is by far probably one of the easiest ways to get to CXP while you're not really worrying about anything or really doing much. But for the other ones, like I said, I would highly recommend this CZ area, the Orcon area, and of course the black hole. But for the other areas, once again, they are pretty long, but it just really depends on what your plan is and what you exactly want to do. Now, another thing that a lot of people forget with these dailies is the thing with them is that almost all the trash mobs and everything kind of involved with it is relatively simple. You won't really find almost any issues. Even if you are at the actual level, you won't really find many problems with it. So what I would recommend is definitely have a companion. It doesn't matter what influence rank they are or anything along the lines of that. I would highly recommend setting them to damage and just trying to rush through everything you possibly can. If you have a mission where you want to, of course, take up a bunch of ads, I would highly recommend, you know, grabbing all the ads you possibly can, set of heals, and just try to survive from there. Because that's a very good option, obviously, if you're just trying to farm some kills. But in general, the main rule of thumb is, even though I'm not doing it right now, the main rule of thumb is if you're trying to complete the stuff really quickly, then, of course, just try to have a damage companion active. And, of course, once again, just run through stuff. And the nice thing with damage companions is it doesn't really matter what level you are, they are always going to be pretty efficient, because that is the way that companions are in this game. But anyways, guys, that's all I have for this very quick little Star Wars Republic guide. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.